Hi everyone, Michelle from Energy Imbalance. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we are going to be looking at Hag Stones. Now, Hag Stone is the most common name for these stones, but throughout history they have had a number of different names. A Hag Stone is basically any type of rock or stone that through natural occurrences in nature, so they can't be drilled by man, a natural hole forms through them. Now, this is what I mean. I don't know if you can see through that. You've got a hole, but if you notice, that hole actually goes right the way through the stone naturally. This is a bit of calcite, and so probably water erosion caused this. So over time, the water has formed this hole naturally. That's one of the ways it can happen. It can also happen through, in dry climates, through the constant erosion of wind can make this occur. And the last way that Hag stones usually occur can be through hot or heat. And this is a piece of moldavite, and if you look through it, it's got a perfectly round hole through it. And this is a moldavite Hag stone. Now that would have happened through the heat, the intense heat of being created. Also, we do see them in tektites as they come down through the atmosphere. Sometimes the heat will burn a hole through it. So those are the main three ways that Hag stones can happen naturally in nature, and it needs to occur this way to actually be referred to a Hag stone. Now, Hag or hex stone is the other name, and the reason that they were given this name was it believed that a hag or a witch would put a hex on you, and that these stones could protect you from that, or to cure the hex that had been put on you. They're also known as adder stones or snake stones, and this was in Germany. It was thought that the venom of the snake was left dripping on the stone, or snakes would come together and put venom on the stone, and that would erode, or the acid they thought would go through, so that the hole was naturally formed that way. And through a lot of your Eastern European countries, Germany, it's believed that they are a protective talisman against snake bites, or if you have been bitten by a snake, that they can cure you of that. We've also got holy stone, eye stone, eyes, and this is because it's thought, again, to protect you from any type of curses that happen through it. So those are the names, and it's been right the way through history. Now, you can find these stones anywhere. You don't have to purchase them. They're not a common stone. You can go down to waterways, the ocean, anywhere like that. That's probably the easiest place to find them. And you can pick them up, and just over time they have eroded that hole through them so that they can be used. A lot of the time they're used for protection. Now, what happened through history is they would put a string through the hole, and then they would tie it around the neck, or they would tie it around the object that needed protection, whether it was a boat, a plane nowadays, bikes, anything, any type of travel mode that they wanted protection, a house if they believed a hex or a curse had been put on you, and they were all put around. Now, sometimes they would do an accumulation of these, so you'd end up with a whole heap of different Hag stones all around the same thing as a necklace. So that brings us to what they've been used for through history, and that is protection, protection, protection. So any way that anything or any, whether it's travel protection, whether it's protection against other people's negative energy or anything like that, Hag stones can be used right the way through for protection. The other thing that they are commonly used for is reconnection with nature. Now, what was believed was if you looked through the hole in the Hag stone, when you're out in nature, you could see the fae or the fairies or the earth energies. And so these stones nowadays are also used, particularly with nature spirits, to connect back to that nature, that spirit, and to get information through from that way and really find yourself in balance. And the last thing that these stones were used for was pregnancy. Now, they were used as a fertility stone. Sometimes in some places, particularly through Europe, you could find a Hag stone that was so big that the couple would walk through the Hag Stone holding hands as a rite of passage to let go and release everything that they had had in the past so that they could open themselves up to having a new stage in their life and being pregnant. I've also heard of the Hag Stone being tied to the bed for fertility, so that and carrying it around. As well as that, sometimes they would find a stick that was the perfect fit, so that they would place it into the Hag Stone, and then they would make her an offering, whether it be in the ocean or to nature or whatever else, so that the energy can come back and so that it's known what they'd want. Hag stones are not an overly common find, but if you do find them, they are fantastic for that protection and other purposes. So please enjoy them, and yeah, really treasure it, because it is something that has a fantastic energy. Now, for more information on this wonderful stone, please click through to the link below, and have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me. And if you've got any comments, or if you've got places where you've found Hag stones, please leave them in the comments below so that other people can find out about this stone and where they can potentially get it. Thanks for joining me. See ya.